I hope you're doing great. Today we're going to work by sharing with you all what we do in the community. I mean, the community process that we implement at UABIC. So let's see. Some of you are showing. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to share my screen so we can begin with the presentation. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Students, are you ready?
Yes. Good afternoon. Today we will be talking about the community work process in UABIC. Next slide, please. UABIC's process consists in 5 phases. I will be explaining the first and 2 stages. Next slide, please. The first stage is training, and the purpose is to analyze which topics are necessary for the community work. First, the students identify their abilities and resources, and finally, highly qualified professionals participate on the select topics. Next slide, please. The second stage, needs and problem identification, is all about the diagnosis that is done through observation, dialogue, and participatory analysis to define the problem and to identify the available tools and resources to solve or aid in the problem. Next slide, please.
Now we will to talk about the building proposal. For this state, you need settle the aims, determine the action to carry on, find of project description later, materials and resource, collaborations with other institutions and professionals. Implementation. The implementation is a stage and on which the building proposal and carry out. This must stand, check, action are carried out according to planning activities registered in a book. Strategies are adjusted in case needed. Share and analyze student feelings and perspective. Next, evaluations and are considered feedback, achievements, participant performance evaluations, identification of areas and improvements, new strategies and work are proposed. Next. Some of the example topics are number 1, pollution, environmental impact. Number 2, recycling, reuse and reduce. Number 3, education, animal protection. Number 4, violence preventions. Number 5, promotion of natural medicine. Next.
Evidence. Next, please. Education animals protection. And this project consists of raising awareness about animal protection. For example, snakes and opossums. Students learn why they are important for the environment, what they do, and why it's important to protect them. Also, as a part of this project, some students study the types of insect that UABIC has, and they learn what insects help to pollinate, what insects have an important function, and why they must be protected. Next, please. Revalue medicinal and edible plants. In this project, students build medicinal nurseries, and we can observe how the students are the responsibles of the process for the care of these plants. Next, please. Comprehensive healthcare. In this project, students work with other UABIC students and taught them how to keep their emotional and physical health. For example, they share strategies to deal with the stress during exams or some easy exercise to do at home. Next, please. Environment. In this project, we work with the harvest of fruits and raising tilapias, a type of fish that we, in a special pond, which the students give due maintenance. And sorry, next please. In this project, we work with children. We made activities to teach them how to prevent school violence and how they can express to their teachers or parents when they are suffering some kind of violence or what things are allowed or not allowed with friends and peers in a school. Next, please. That's all.
Thank you, Josue. Now we're going to have a round of questions and answers, a Q&A. So if somebody has a question, you can just raise your hand.
I would love to ask a question. I'm not sure how to raise my hand. May I?
Yeah, sure.
I loved all the examples of the different topics on that your project were on. I was wondering if you could give us some examples of how you originally found those topics, what that process looked like. How you originally decided to work on those topics.
How you decided to...
I don't know if any student or UABIC teacher is willing to answer this one.
The topic is about the problems of community.
And the teachers will see detect what are the problems of the community that in the community that we work, and made strategies and programs to resolve the problems.
Thank you. Do any of my students have questions? I know you're all a little shy still, but don't hesitate to ask any questions. And if you you can always also use Spanish if y'all prefer. However, if not, maybe we continue.
All right, if there are no questions for next session, we're going to begin with these two questions for you to think. I mean, this is going to be like your homework. Based on what we presented today, you're going to mention a topic of interest you consider to the community. Like, for example, about COVID or about water or environmental issues. And the second one is think of a problem that is related to this topic. And Adri, I don't know if you want to comment on this or you want to add something.
No, it's just to mention that the presentation was about the things that we're doing right now or we did previous of the pandemic, but answering your question before, the students needs to identify, of course, the topic that they're interested about the community and then try to find a problem. So the process that they have to find these examples that we present today is related to the questions that the students need to answer for next session. So that's what we're going to be working next week. We're going to start trying to think about the problems that we have in our communities and also what are the things that we can do to solve them or to help. Okay, so I don't know if teachers from RCU wants to add something. No sé si alguno de los maestros de RCU quieren agregar algo, comentar algo.
Hola, ¿me escuchan? Bueno.
Sí, le escuchamos, maestro.
Muy claro.
Sí, creo que lo importante cuando se identifican necesidades, oportunidades, problemáticas, cuando se hace el trabajo en comunidad, ¿alguien me puede ayudar con trasladando esto?
Ok, maestro.
Voy a volver a iniciar.
Okay.
Voy a iniciar. Cuando se hace un trabajo comunitario,
When we do community work,
cuando se identifican necesidades, problemáticas y oportunidades,
when opportunities, needs, and needs are identified,
los puentes o las alianzas con otras instituciones y otras personas es muy importante.
the bridges that or the way we connect with another institutions or people are very important.
El trabajo comunitario debe generar trabajo entre las personas de la comunidad y otros actores clave multidisciplinario.
The work must show the way they work with other actors in a multidisciplinary way.
El trabajo comunitario es en conjunto, nunca debe ser una invasión a la comunidad.
The community work must be done all together. It should never be an invasion.
Gracias, saludos.
Thank you.
Gracias. Well, I realized we proposed these questions as homework. I was wondering if we could maybe have a couple of students from each group share any early thoughts they may have on this. I know my students, at least most of them, those who were in my class at the time, did something very similar for the midterm project. I was wondering if maybe Victor or Francis would be willing to share the topic they spoke on for their midterm project. You don't need to go into much detail, but if you could just briefly give an example. Mr. Santos? Ms. Lopez? Also, apologies, am I quiet?
No.
Okay. Victor, would you mind, just because our topic is, right, what are some problems in our community and ways we might solve them? I remember you and Christian in our class came up with a wonderful idea for our midterm project regarding that. Would you be willing to share out your remember of that?
I don't recall, really. I think.
Let me jog your memory. You were discussing COVID safety.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, you know, I remember. Like, I remember.
Okay. Want to share anything about it?
Yeah. So, well, one problem in our community in Newark was that the constant COVID cases that kept coming in. So when I partnered up with Christian, we decided to come up with a program to invite people into a room and teach them about teach them to spread the word of to not spread COVID. And so what we would do is that we would take a few people, we would take some people, not too much, so that way we don't break our promise on spreading the word of preventing the spread COVID. And so once we do that, we teach them the statistics, and we also have an actual doctor to talk to them, because in that way it makes them more legit and persuades them more. Then after that, we would help them out by giving them some hand sanitizer, gloves, and reusable masks, just so then they can be protected and they can know more.
Thank you, Victor. Right, I just appreciated these questions and the examples, and I thought we should share an example that we'd thought of. Sandri, would you care to continue for us?
Okay, I think there are other teachers that want to add something. We can help them with the translation. Maestro, si alguien más quiere comentar algo, les podemos apoyar con la interpretación.
Hola a todos, hola Adri. Comentar algo que nos ha ayudado mucho a pensar en estas dos preguntas que les dejamos es qué temas nos interesan a nosotros, qué está pasando en casa, qué está pasando con mi vecino, con mis compañeros de trabajo. Y de ahí muchas veces hemos obtenido las ideas. No necesariamente tiene que ser un problema grande, pueden ser pequeños temas y eso nos ayuda mucho a ponernos en el lugar de la comunidad. She says that something that has helped us to identify this problem is that they think they took these questions and they think that some problems can come from their own community, but not only that, also some of them come from home. So it doesn't have to be something big, and that's the way they can help each other.
Gracias, Ana. A veces también ha sucedido que pensamos en un tema y cuando llegamos a la comunidad de trabajo están interesados en otro tema diferente o en otro problema diferente. Y también tenemos que pensar en esa posibilidad. ¿Qué les interesa? ¿Qué les preocupa? ¿Qué desean trabajar o en qué quieren ser escuchados?
It also has happened that when we get to our workplace, people are interested in other issues or in other topics. So that helps us to identify what we need to work on most.
Hola, buenas tardes. Yo nada más para... ¿Me escuchan?
Sí.
Sí, bueno. Nada más para comentar un poquito más. Creo que todas las personas que estén interesadas en realizar trabajo comunitario, pues deben tener esa empatía, ¿no? De querer acompañar a la comunidad en ese proceso, porque muchas veces no van a ser temas que a lo mejor a nosotros nos interesen directamente, pero pues si tenemos esa empatía para poder estar en el lugar del otro, pues podemos acompañarlos de una buena manera, porque pues si somos personas que no somos muy empáticas o que no nos interesa realmente ofrecer ese apoyo a la comunidad, pues no vamos a tener un logro, ¿no? Entonces, creo que en este tipo de trabajo comunitario la empatía es clave para poder llevar a cabo nuestro trabajo. Nada más eso.
She says that empathy is the key in order to work with the community, because if you get to a place and they are not willing to work on your ideas, you have to adapt and to understand them in order to work with them. So that's why she believes that, as I said, empathy is the key to work.
A mí me gustaría comentar algo más. ¿Alguien me apoya?
Sí, claro.
Okay. Algo muy importante para trabajar en comunidad es el profundo respeto a las diferencias en toda la gama de posibilidades: pensamiento, afiliación, religión. El trabajo comunitario no es imponer ideas. Ese es uno de los errores de los investigadores del área comunitaria.
When you want to work with a community, it is highly important to respect not only their beliefs, religious beliefs, but as a whole. That's why that is important as a researcher to, as he said, respect everything from the other people.
Algo fundamental es saber escuchar, no hablar en comunidad. Primero tenemos que escuchar a la comunidad de su sentir y qué necesitan.
Another important key is to learn how to listen and not to speak as a whole community, but just to listen to each one independently.
Gracias.
Thank you. So I think that we can close this session. and we will see each other next week.
Okay, sorry for that. I just stepped away for just one moment. A student came into my room.
Oh, don't worry.
Apologies if you said anything to me.
No problem. Adri, do you want to say something else?
No, just we have to work on this, and we'll see you next week. And I hope you start checking what is around you, check what are the problems that you have around you, try to observe what is in your community and the problems that we can help to solve. And next week we're going to continue talking about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. And we look forward to it next week. We'll come back with lots of ideas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hasta luego, buenas tardes.
Goodbye, see you.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Gracias, Adri. Gracias, Ana, por su ayuda. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos. Que estén muy bien. ¿Pueden parar la grabación?